Hey guys, we're here today to talk about building your brand authority and helping you elevate your authority between now and the end of the year. Now, I bet a lot of you are thinking, it's the holidays coming up. There's a lot of things that are on your mind that are not your business. And many of you are probably thinking, to get myself booked on stages in 2021, to get myself at a position where people are coming to me to buy my packages and all those other things. Like we think that we have to have a large following, or we think that we have to have all of these years of experience and testimonials, and that's just not true. So today, what we're going to cover in this live session is I'm going to teach you 3 specific things that you can be doing like right now between now and the end of the year to start positioning yourself as the go-to authority in your niche. If you're new around here, it's my first time streaming live on YouTube. I'm Heather Sager. I'm a speaking coach for online entrepreneurs, and I help people get the ideas out of their head into a signature talk that actually helps grow their business. So welcome. This is a live session. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We are streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and over here, say hello to my Facebook or my Instagram friends. Okay, so let's dive in and talk about some of the specific things that you can be doing this year to grow your authority. Now, if you are watching, you're most likely an online entrepreneur, which means you have courses, you have coaching packages, you're doing things online that you sell. So most likely you are creating content online. So between now and the end of the year, the first thing I want you to focus on is to commit to consistency. Commit to consistency for all of you over here on Instagram. What do I mean by this? I think right now we're living in a social environment online where we think we have to be present on all the platforms. And even though we hear from the marketing experts, and we probably even say this ourselves, that you shouldn't try to spread yourself across all the platforms, what happens is we think that we're special unicorns and we can do it anyways by taking what we do on Facebook and copying and pasting over to Instagram, or putting it on Instagram and copying and paste over to Facebook and LinkedIn. And what I want to tell you right now, do yourself a favor as you head into the holidays and pick one frigging platform and commit to being consistent on that. And I don't mean just phoning it and showing up every day and just putting a post or 2 out there. Pick one platform and show up as like the best version of you. So whether that's you going live on Facebook once a week, or that's you doing a 3-minute YouTube video once a week, whatever that looks like, pick one platform and get really consistent with it. Because if you look like most online entrepreneurs, we have a lot of hats that we're wearing. Many of us are solopreneurs with or without a virtual assistant. We're trying to get all the things done. And typically what happens with our content is there'll be blips in the radar, meaning that we'll be really consistent for a certain amount of time, but then we fall back a bit. Use this time over the holidays when there's going to be a lot of people at social events with their family safely. Do that safely right now in this season. But a lot of people are going to be on their phones scrolling because they don't want to be where they're at. So if you think about this in the holidays, people kind of uptick their social media consumption. So commit to consistency. Don't you fall into that trap and spend the next 6 weeks scrolling through your feed. Use that time instead to show up and be consistent. Because if you want to be seen as the authority, you have to create content, not just post other people's content. That's the big thing. So number 1, to boost your authority between now and the end of the year, you have to go into creation mode and pick one platform and be consistent with it. If you hang around with me, you know I am a big believer of video content. I think lives are the easiest way to do that. That might not be your jam, and that's totally cool too. But pick one platform and get super, super consistent with that. Hey, Melanie. Hey, Crystal. You guys watching from live on Facebook and YouTube. Super excited to see you around here. Okay, so we're reviewing 3 specific things that you can do today to elevate your authority so that people can see you as the go-to in your industry. 3 things that you can be doing. Number 1, we talked about be consistent. Pick a platform between now and the end of the year and commit to uber consistent showing up on it. I recommend the live piece. I think that's great. If you decide you want to do more like written content, that's fine too. I'm not going to split hairs with you, but you need to pick something and show up consistently. Because if you do that, you will become more seen because your competitors are not going to be as consistent over the holiday season. In fact, I'm hearing a lot of people right now talking about taking breaks from their podcasts or breaks from their YouTube channels, which make the choice that works for you. But if you want to build authority faster, you have to start by creating content and showing up. So number 1, consistency. Okay, number 2, this one is my favorite. Share shoutouts. Share shoutouts. Now, what do I mean by share shoutouts? If you want to be seen as a credible authority in your industry, you have to tell people that you're a credible authority. And that means when people say nice things about you, don't do the whole like humility thing of like, oh, that's so nice and celebrate in private. You got to market yourself, baby. You got to tell people about it. So first, tell your clients and customers, if they have something nice to say, ask them to post it publicly and then share it. Anytime anyone tags you in a post, anytime you make an appearance on a podcast, maybe even you've been on podcasts earlier this year, make it intentional to share that you've already done things. If you want people to see as an authority, you have to start telling them that you are an authority. And I think an easy way to do this without being like, I'm the best, is to show that other people are saying that you are awesome. So whether that's in your Instagram stories, resharing testimonials that people have said, resharing tags, adding a little note of gratitude, and encouraging your clients, students, whoever it is that you do business with, encouraging them to share publicly. You can take podcast testimonials that are on your page, screenshot them on your phone, crop it down, share those on your feed and stories. Now, this doesn't mean this is the only thing you're sharing, right? If you did tip number 1, you're also sharing your own content. But if you pepper in these shout outs often into your content, people start seeing that other people think that you know what you're doing because you do. And that starts shifting in their minds of going, that Heather chick, yeah, she talks a lot about speaking on stages, but holy crap, people actually hire her. People actually pay her money. Oh my God, she actually gets people results. Now they start thinking, when I have the chance to speak on a stage, or when I make the decision to get more visible and speak on stages, I know that Heather is a person that gets me results because all these people are already saying it. They might not be consciously thinking about that, but that's what social proof starts to doing. So I want you to get really intentional with your social proof over the next 6 weeks and start sharing shout outs. Now you might be thinking, but Heather, I don't have anybody tagging me on Instagram stories. I don't have all these people talking about me online because my business is still small. You have to create that content to share. So again, ask your customers, ask people who have downloaded your freebie, ask for feedback, and then ask for permission to share. Screenshot the email, screenshot the DM, screenshot the whatever they shared. Like I said, the podcast testimonial, screenshot it and then share it. And you don't have to share somebody's name if you're not quite sure if you should share their information. Check with them. Most people are like, oh my gosh, yes, please share. So don't use the excuse. If you don't have people tagging you online, it's no excuse. You can still share the shout outs. You just have to do a little bit more legwork. That's tip number 2. Number 1, we're going to get consistent on one platform by creating our own content, not just sharing other people's, although that's nice too to pepper in, but create your own content and share. And 2, you're going to share shout outs often. Social proof. You're going to show the social proof and your authority is going to start going up in the eyes of your audience. Are you ready for it? Okay, how is this? You like this stuff? I get excited on Friday the 13th. Unlike a lot of people, this is like my favorite day of the year because I am a 13th baby. My birthday is on, every 7 years it's on Friday the 13th, but it was on Friday, March 13th of 2020, which people seem to be saying it was the day of doom. I think it was a fabulous day. Yes, the world shut down, but it was still my birthday. And today is another Friday the 13th, and I'm going to celebrate it. It's also my sister's birthday. But regardless, Friday the 13th, here we go. Tip number 3 for boosting your authority this year by December 31st. I want you to book yourself on a frickin' stage. Book yourself as a guest talk. Here we go, Instagram. Book yourself a guest talk. Now you might be thinking like, I'm not ready to speak on someone's stage, or how the hell am I going to get myself on the Kajabi stage or on Amy Porterfield's stage or whoever it is that you idolize after. I want you to shift your perspective and say, you don't have to be on a big ass stage. Pick a different kinds of stage because there's so many different kinds of stages you can be speaking on right now. But I bet you have a group of business besties or colleagues that you chat with often. Maybe you formed a pod from a Facebook group you're in. Those people, most likely, some of them have similar audiences to you. So why not raise your hand and say, hey, friend, would you be open to doing a Facebook Live together where I come in and talk to your audience about X, Y, and Z? You don't have to have a fancy talk all designed right now to book your first guest talk. You just need to lose your guest speaking virginity and just start doing it. Because the more that you demonstrate that you're an authority by speaking on stages, the more stages you will book. What you just have to think about right now is, how do you start building momentum for yourself? If you want to get visible, if you want to get the point where other people are seeing you everywhere, it's going to take a lot of legwork and momentum to get there. But it just starts with making the first few crucial moves. So 3 of them that I shared today, none of these are overly complicated. None of these are new pieces of information. But when you apply them with intention and say, 2021 is the year that I'm going to get freaking visible. It's the year that people are going to know me. The year that people are going to not just look at my freebie, but they're actually going to enroll in my program. I'm going to start making big traction and helping people get the transformation that you so deeply desire to create for yourself. If that's what you want to do, you have to start building momentum. You cannot just rely on Facebook ads or referrals from other people to hype you up. You got to be your own hype girl. You have to start creating momentum by demonstrating to your audience that you are the authority. So pick a platform, get consistent at it, create your own content, repurpose your old content. I don't care what you do, but make some freaking noise. Start getting seen on one platform and then go from there. Number 2, share your shout outs. So whether there are people tagging you that you share, or you drum up your own from asking clients and friends and start sharing those conversations, you can share the same shout outs over and over and over again, because people are seeing different content every day. That's okay. But until you start demonstrating that other people see you as an expert, they're going to question it a bit. So you need that social proof. And then number 3, start demonstrating you're an expert by being positioned as an expert on somebody else's platform. So book yourself a guest talk right now. It could be an interview on a Facebook Live. It could be a podcast interview. It could be a guest lecture inside someone else's program. It could be a keynote seat at a virtual event. Although, I mean, looking at the date, we're kind of running out of time for that piece. But find an unconventional stage. Get yourself on it. Build your confidence that you can do it. And then your snowball in for 2021 will get started. And the more you do it, the more momentum you'll get, the bigger your snowball will get. And then people can't help but see you. So these are 3 ways that you can tactically start building your authority now without relying on other people and without having this big, large following, but you have to take some action. And hey, if building your authority is something you're serious about, if you're like 2021 is my year, 2020, we don't know what the hell happened, but 2021 is the year that you're going to get visible and start making some freaking noise. If that's something that you're ready to dive into, I have a free training happening next week. It's an authority training, all designed to help you build your authority in your niche to become the go-to industry leader by speaking on live and virtual stages without second guessing your words or second guessing your message or needing a big following. So if you're here for that and you want to get a free training that actually teaches you something that you can do and isn't just a schmucky sales mechanism to tell you to buy my program, though we are going to talk about my program, come check it out. It's over at heathersager.com/masterclass. That's heathersager.com/masterclass. And I hope to see y'all live next week. Until then, happy Friday the 13th. And I hope you guys have an incredible weekend. Bye.